Is part two of the July 16th meeting of the town council. Finishing up on the resolutions passed. Like I said, the Roscoe Press gets paid $20,000 now to publish about 10 issues of this lousy, stupid little newsletter. It has these stupid little items in it. It's sent out. There's approximately, I don't know, 1,500 addresses. Um, it's just a preposterous amount of money. They used to spend $7,000 or something like that a year, just 3 years ago. And they take the ads out, they take this out, they take that out. Now it's $20,000, and it's just junk. I mean, at worst, they could send out 100 of these things out to these, senior citizens who don't have computers. But otherwise, this information all should be online. They should invest the money in a website that has actual value rather than this stupid newsletter. It's just the stupidest expenditure. Just so dumb. Okay, then anyway, another resolution was about the tax bills, because apparently they're going out late, and so they had to extend the period of time before they can impose a late fee, interest. Then there was a resolution about we're going to participate with, Mendham Township, the two Chesters, and the borough are going to have some study, and they're apparently going to attempt to get some grant money to, tie all these, the four towns together in terms of how they handle the recreation facilities, the baseball fields. On the subject of baseball fields, in the township, Mendham Township, they are proceeding work on the new baseball field or soccer field or utility field, whatever you want to call it, that they're putting up on the Ironia Road Park. And it's $550,000. I mean, just preposterous amounts of money being spent on just what we need another ball field. We got 17 of them within a 5-mile radius, and just crazy money being spent on this garbage that really shouldn't be a public responsibility. This is, if people want this crap, the people who participate really ought to be funding it. We're not funding ice skating. We're not funding 4 million other recreational activities. I don't know why we're funding baseball and soccer. Why is it our obligation to fund these sports? Why don't we, $550,000 invested in some sort of science recreation or some sort of educational recreation? It would be $550,000. I mean, if we're making that kind of expenditure every 2 or 3 years in educational recreation, we might not have moron children. I mean, it's just so stupid. I mean, if we're going to subsidize children in the first place, I guess we ought to subsidize them to be intelligent and not some sort of asshole who thinks life's about some kind of jackass competition on a stupid grass field. Anyway, $550,000. And, there's a wonderful, spectacular, gigantic hills going up to this park. And, curving, hooking fields, no sidewalks. So I can imagine, kids on bicycles walking their bicycle up the hill, I would imagine, because I don't know how they could ride up those hills and kill them. But regardless, I mean, maybe somebody would get killed to make this thing just even better idea. Anyway, then there was some reporting on the different committees by council members who were on those committees. Anyways, I guess the guy who's on the committee for the the guys who the DPW. Anyway, there was some mention that they did some work on the war memorial, and I can only assume that's the stupid memorial, but the high school. And so I don't know why if we're here. Now we're also spending public funds on this memorial where there's these bricks that they wouldn't allow me to buy a brick like any other citizen. Okay, a brick that simply said, war's bad. War is hell. That's what I said. War is hell. Like that's well, anyway. So, another unconstitutional deed by this stupid ass government that runs this town. So moving on, there was some talk about a cell tower. I guess the cell tower is going through the procedure. there was some discussion of the law, but basically it's eminent domain now. I mean, the federal government has given the media companies the rights to put these things wherever they want, and there was basically this sensible argument made that the technology has changed, and now they need more towers because they're doing stupid things now. It's video over phone and all this other stuff, and so it's no longer for communication purposes anymore. It's entertainment purposes, and towns really oughtn't be obliged, I assume that's the implication, to endure having cell towers put wherever businesses want them, when it's really not a non-necessary public service utility anymore. I mean, and it's a valid point. Progress doesn't have to go that far. We don't have to be subsidizing it that far. So anyway, and the end of the meeting with the public comment portion. Nobody had any public comments, so it was just mine. I again asked the town council if they intend to respect the United States Constitution and the First Amendment in how they are running the public access television station, and the lawyer answered for the council, and by saying that he's not going to answer this at this meeting, and so I guess he will discuss it with the volunteer committee, basically, and he's going to have a legal opinion at the next meeting. So again, they just keep putting it off. A simple question. You're taking an oath to the United States Constitution. All you have to say is, yes, we intend that the First Amendment be respected. Not too hard to do. Really not too hard for an American, a real one. So anyway, that's that was the meeting. The end.